Generally speaking, there are two types of lawyers. There are litigation lawyers and there are transactional lawyers. A litigation lawyer is any lawyer who goes to court on a regular basis and makes arguments to the court. So a personal injury lawyer, a divorce lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer, these would all be litigation attorneys. A transactional lawyer is a lawyer who mostly does paperwork and who never goes to court. This could be a real estate lawyer, an estate planning lawyer, a business lawyer who handles business formations and business transactions. Now, what these lawyers do, these two categories of lawyers, is vastly different. It's different in the nature of the work and in the clients that the lawyers deal with. So regarding the nature of the work, I had a friend of mine once say that litigation is more embarrassing, but it's also more forgiving than transactional work. And I think that's very true. If you litigate, eventually and inevitably, you're going to embarrass yourself. You're in an adversarial situation, you're dealing with complex issues, and you're just going to make a mistake every now and then. And when you do, it's in front of all your colleagues and a room full of strangers. So some embarrassment is going to happen, and you just need to be able to deal with it and keep going. On the positive side, in litigation, you often or almost always get a second chance. So if you fail to provide discovery, or if you file a motion the wrong way, or whatever it is, almost always, even the toughest judge will give you a second chance. He's going to say, we're going to get a new date, and you're going to refile this motion, or you're going to provide this discovery, or whatever it may be. Transactional legal work is really the opposite of that. So you spend most of your days sort of in the comfort of your office. You send emails, you talk on the phone. There's really no chance for saying something foolish in public in the courtroom. So you have that security. On the opposite side, though, or on the downside, if you make a mistake in transactional work, there's no forgiveness and there's no second chances, and you have to pay for that mistake. If you're a real estate lawyer, you get a mortgage payoff wrong, or you're an estate planning lawyer and you draft a will the wrong way, those are very, very costly mistakes, and there's no opportunity to really redo what you have done. Now, the second way that these two categories of the profession are different is in the clientele. So if you are a lawyer who litigates, your clients are very likely to be tough people. Whether you handle divorce or landlord-tenant or civil litigation or criminal defense or whatever it is, you are dealing with people very often who are unlikely to reason. They're not willing to make concessions. They're combative. And that's why they end up in court in many cases. So you have to be ready to deal with that. And you also have to be ready to deal with these people for a very long time. Right? The last civil case I had, it took 3 years and 8 months to bring the case to trial. So when you file a lawsuit or you get a client in a litigation setting, you're going to be with that person for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or more. And there are times, if you get to the bottom of your retainer and you want to withdraw, the judge will just say, no, you're not withdrawing from this case, and you are stuck with that client. On the other side, transactional work, the clientele is almost the total opposite. So people planning their estates, people refinancing their house, or setting up an LLC or something like that, These are usually not combative people. In fact, one of the frustrating things of dealing with this sort of clientele is that they acquiesce to everything, and you watch these people get pushed around by realtors and bankers and other attorneys, and it can almost be kind of frustrating. But you don't have that combative attitude that you do with the litigation clientele. So that in my mind, those are the two categories of the legal profession, and that is how they differ in terms of the nature of the work and the clientele that you deal with. I've written a blog post on this, and I'll put it in the description below.